So I started a series that I call On This Day in Cold War History, where I just look at the date. So for example, today is August 16th of 2024, but the year doesn't matter. I'm looking back through the Cold War, maybe even a little bit before the Cold War, just to see like what has led to where we are right now, or how things have changed or maybe stayed the same. So on August 16th in 1929, now this isn't Russia, but in Palestine, there were riots that broke out in Mandatory Palestine between Palestinian Arabs and Jews. 133 Jews were killed, 116 Arabs were killed, and what's going on right now in Israel is more of the same. Okay, on this day in 1941, Stalin issued Order number 270. Now, during the Great Patriotic War, that's World War II, Joseph Stalin issued this order which condemned Soviet soldiers who surrendered to the enemy. That made them traitors if you surrendered. Now, Stalin would also do things like put a line of other soldiers to shoot soldiers who were retreating so that they wouldn't do that. Now, Order number 270 required punishment for soldiers that included up to execution and penalized even their families, eliminating the possibility that they could receive state assistance. It's pretty vindictive. On this day in 1956, the Kalaro Finnish SSR, that's Socialist Soviet Republic, became the Karelin ASSR, that's Autonomous Socialist Soviet Republic of the Russian SFSR. This was on the other side of the Winter War, and there's a reason why the Finns are so hawkish about making sure that they support Ukraine right now. Okay, in 1960, the Sino-Soviet split. Moscow recalled thousands of Soviet advisors from China and ended economic and military aid. And it's almost hard to wrap your mind around right now when you realize the Soviets and the Chinese didn't always get along. And in fact, they were very skeptical of each other for a long, long time. And this was one of the examples. 1964, in Vietnam, there was a coup d'etat on August 16th that replaced Minh with General Khan. Now, this isn't the same as the assassination of Diem. Okay, so this is a year after the assassination of Diem, and that's what happened in 1964. And then in 1966, the House Un-American Activities Committee begins investigations of Americans who aided the Viet Cong. And during that meeting, anti-war demonstrators interrupted the meeting. Dozens of people were arrested, but that happened in 1966. And in 1999, the State Duma elevated Vladimir Putin to the post of Prime Minister of Russia. That was ominous. Finally, 4 years ago, hundreds of thousands of Belarusians flooded the streets as they were protesting Lukashenko's fraudulent election. Okay, hopefully that gives you some context to what was going on in the world on August 16th. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes and the shares and the subscribes and being the kind of person that cares about what happens in the world we live in.